You're listening to Life Story at Reclamation Welch. If we're going to live reclaimed lives for the glory of Jesus, it's important that we learn to share and celebrate what God's doing in each other's lives. Each week during service, we'll take a few minutes to hear someone's life story, or the mission God's called them to, or a particular way to grow in personal maturity as we live out our faith. Thanks for sharing, thanks for listening, and lean in for another reclaimed life story. Rob, if you'd like to, just to start, before we get into our 3-question interview, would you introduce just yourself?
Oh yeah, my name is Rob Henderson, and I'm a member of Reclamation Church, Monroeville. My wife is Taylor. She's here serving back in kids, and my children are Hayes and Ezra, 9 and 5.
Amen, great. And how long have you been at Reclamation Welch?
Oh,
Reclamation Monroeville, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Reclamation Welch for about 12 hours, but Reclamation Monroeville since the beginning, 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, since the school, we were meeting in the school, so since then.
I remember the school. I don't share it often, friends, but yes, we were part of that setup, tear down. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Lots of work, lots of fun.
Yes.
Snowy days are terrifying.
Yes.
The trailer. We want to know this morning, would you tell us some of your story before you knew the Lord? Will you share with us, put us into your life there? What was that like? How would you describe it? What would you share about that?
So, it was pretty horrific, actually. But when you're living in horrific, it's just your normal. So I'm going to try to kind of talk quick, trying to pack a life into a couple of minutes. But my mother died when I was really young, and my father and my mother's brothers were heavily involved in organized crime, like heavily involved. So I grew up in that environment without a mother, and all my role models were just did the best they could, but they were seriously bad people. So my life was just, you could imagine, 8 years old, and have no really authority or role models in my life. So yeah, it was a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol, a lot of girls, a lot of arrests, a lot of judges, It was as bad as you could imagine, I guess.
Tell us, where did that season start? It started as far back as you can remember. How far did that season carry you until life maybe started to change? Like, tell us that. Walk us through a little more.
Yeah, so just the chaos of my life, eventually I ended up in Little Rock, Arkansas. Good old Bible Belt, Southern Baptist, let's go. But and there, it's too long of a story to get into, but God used somebody, right, at a Lowe's to say something to me that changed me, right? In 2010, I got saved. And I had nothing to do with it, right? God just, when he comes for you, there's nothing you can do about it, right? But you got to understand, I was the least likely person to ever get saved ever, because I was raised by criminals who were like Catholics, so they would cross themselves when they went past the church, but then they would shoot people. That's just the truth. It was just really bad. So I was like, that Christianity stuff's crazy. And I remember in Arkansas, I thought all you Christians were in a cult, right? I really did. I was like, and I heard that K-Love music, and I was like, you guys are way off the rails. But that's where God came and found me, hello, right? And when God comes for you, there's nothing you can do. It's over. I had nothing to do with it.
And so, did I hear you right? Someone at Lowe's.
Someone at Lowe's. Yeah.
A person you knew, or a person who was helping you find nails or something?
Yeah. My sister-in-law at the time was one of those Jesus freaks. That's what I thought, right? Which I'm a total Jesus freak. Let's go. So let's go. But what happens is you can't wait to talk about Jesus. So my sister-in-law and this guy were talking about Jesus, and he was like, what about you? And I was like, bro, don't talk, stop, right? I'm a street kid, right? I'm like, back up. I don't want to be hit you, just back up. And he was like, hey man, and it doesn't matter what he said, but he said something, and I was like, whatever. And then I went home, and I was like, what's happening? So, and I remember exactly where I was. Pastor Jeremiah, my pastor likes to say, you should know the day you got saved. Don't tell me you were always saved or you always knew Jesus. You should know. And I know where I was, exactly where I was, right? When I said, okay, I still don't know what I know or what I believe, but I'm ready to go. And that was it. That was it for me. 2010, in a cabin in the woods in Arkansas.
Let's go, dude.
Let's go.
That's just exciting. It's exciting. Someone was on fire. They were living it out, unashamed. Talk to somebody in a Lowe's. They make them uncomfortable. Changes a life. Wasn't even there for your conversion. Tell us about when you surrendered to the Lord. I'm ready to go. Mm-hmm. Describe to us what that would look like before, because we wanted to hear how you're doing now, but how was that radical change from your past to...
Yeah, but so I'm trying not to take too much of your time, but this is really, really important stuff. So I got saved and a lot of things did change, but you have to understand sanctification takes a lifetime, right? Oh. So good. It's really difficult to compose myself because, so I got saved and a lot of things started to change and read the Bible and was going to church and got baptized and all the things that we do and we're supposed to do. But I had a really, really bad chemical dependency my whole life. And during that time I got saved, I was under the care of doctors, but I wasn't clean. I thought I was clean. And anyway, so I ended up, I'm going to go really fast, but I ended up saved and I was on fire for Jesus, but still had this kind of medically assisted thing in my life. Got married to my awesome wife, became a member of Reclamation Church, but it was a couple months after I got married, I fell back into horrible addiction. And it was, I hid it from the church, I hid it from my wife, so I can say that 2010 I got saved, 2018 I got clean, right? Got kicked out of the church, got kicked out of my house. That's just the hard truth, right? But I love Jesus, but I was just trapped. I didn't want to be doing what I was doing. I was trapped, right? But I re-surrendered. That's when it's real good. Re-surrendered in 2018 and really, really, that's when I was all in. So 2018 to now is all the good stuff, all in. Do you want to know about any of that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah, we would love that. What's all in Rob look like now?
All in Rob is just completely 100% surrendered to whatever God has for me, right? And willing to go out and do whatever it takes. I went away for 5 months and I fought my way back into, being able to serve at the church and just whatever it takes, right? And my life has been dramatically different. I can tell you quit smoking, everything. And really, though, the biggest transformation of my life ever is 2 years and a couple months ago, I surrendered purity, right? Because I surrendered drugs and I surrendered alcohol, but I still had a lot of impurity in my life. And I can tell you that's the big thing now. The now is total purity, 2.5 years almost, total purity. And just on that mission and just really trying to I work with a lot of addicts, but I also work with a lot of men now. I know it's not just men, but I only deal with men. But a lot of men now and just that total purity journey. Because if I could get clean from all those things and be pure, anyone can. I promise you, anyone can. So,
what a testimony of the Lord's work. You can't weave that story. He can weave it. We couldn't make it up. And you can't do it on your own, man. It's awesome to see, and I love this, that you fought to be back with your people in the church the right way, in love, in dependence on the Lord. I couldn't imagine the tears. Mm-hmm. I couldn't imagine the seasons that weren't that victory side of it, that was just a fight. Yeah. We've been there. We've seen it. Guys, don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. I didn't know the story that was going to get told, by the way, but this is it. And so whoever's walking down your road, whoever you work with who's too far gone or doesn't care, their ears are shut off. Our God's able.
Yeah.
He can do it at a Lowe's and in a cabin, and
yeah,
it's amazing. I'd like to invite, maybe if Jeremy would you come up and pray for Rob as we move towards the sermon, and everyone too, if you will, just join us as we give God thanks for him this morning and pray for the next steps in his walk with the Lord here.